a chainsaw, and he said, "Get in my van," and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to be murdered." I'm obsessed with Sienna Miller.
So am I.
Honestly.
When I had my hair and makeup done, I was like, can you just make me look like Sienna?
Honestly, it was meant to be a project.
Really?
I did not mean to get here.
Brilliant.
He probably didn't need such a long spiel, but here we are.
Hello and welcome. Today's guest is the woman behind your favourite shirt brand with nothing underneath. After seeing a gap in the market for well-tailored, sustainably made women's shirts, she launched the brand in 2017. Now, 7 years later, with one standalone store, one gorgeous baby, it's Pip Durell, everyone.
Hi. Thank you for having me. It's so nice to be here.
Oh, it's such a pleasure to have you. And we are finally doing this after a rescheduled one, because last time you were meant to join me on Homegrown Daisy, you cancelled because you thought, yeah, actually, I'm about to have a baby. I don't think I should come on your podcast. You overcommitted.
It was like the last week of work before I left for maternity leave in inverted commas. And I'm so sorry. I was like, I cannot be doing this.
It was totally fine.
So here we are, 10 months later.
Oh my goodness, is that how old your baby is now?
10 months today.
Oh my God,
My
that's
sweet girl.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Well,
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And you've brought your significant piece of jewellery with you.
It was so nice actually digging them out this morning, having a think of what to bring. It was fun.
Did you struggle to just make the selection?
I actually, they were quite obvious.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. I find that I probably have I have too many pieces, and it is a really nice thing to just go through and remember those stories, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
nice.
really special.
And you are going to reveal your favourite Daisy piece at the end of this episode, where people can get a discount, so stay tuned.
Yes.
But before we dive in, before we start chatting, let's set the scene for those jewellery and fashion lovers. Let's tell them what we're wearing. Pip, what are you wearing? Can I take a guess?
I'm wearing WNU shirt. Shocking. And the iris, which is a little crop, which I love.
Yeah, I really like
easy.
that.
It's the boyfriend shape, just cropped. And these are actually the new WNU trousers, which are coming out in October. So they won't quite be on sale yet. But wool made in a British mill.
Very
just
nice.
a beautiful bit of tailoring.
Yeah.
Some Jimmy Choos and Daisy jewellery.
Of course. You've
There
got
you
the
go.
nice big shrimp earrings.
Yep.
And I am wearing one of your shirts, denim
love
shirt,
that one.
which actually I got last year and I wore so much all the time.
It looks so good.
I'm going double denim today, and as usual, piled on loads of gold jewellery. But it's so nice to have you. So I see you all the time. You're always so busy, so active on Instagram. You've just got back from, I feel like, hundreds of shoots, one of which you did your Christmas campaign, which, first of all, you're so organised, and that makes me feel terrible. How has that been? And how are you so organised?
We are insane. No, honestly, it takes lots of people to do it. It has been a crazy few weeks because we do e-com. There's so many different bits of content that you have to do. So you have to do e-com, which is really showing the product. Campaign, which is telling the story. Street style, which is showing it as one would wear it. And all three of those things come together to make the consumer engage. So we do a lot of shoots, and sometimes we get a stylist in, but actually for autumn winter I've styled it myself, which I prefer to do. It just sometimes, if we're time short, we use someone else. But I was really happy to do this one, and we worked with one of my favorite photographers in the world, James Harvey Kelly. So it was really so amazing, and just such a team effort. But a lot. We were up in Lincolnshire on a farm doing the campaign and dressing a Christmas tree.
How did you get the tree? Was it a real
Oh my
tree?
gosh, no, someone on my team took ages, and she came back and she said, I found a tree, it's 4 foot tall. I said, no, Jess, go again. So she then had to call around and found some farmer and then I turned up at his farm because I was the only one who could drive. So I was like, I'll drive and go pick it up. And I met this farmer in his yard, and he said, are you Jess? And I said, sure. And then he was like, get in my van. So he had a chainsaw, and he said, get in my van. And I was like, oh, I'm going to be murdered.
Sure.
But James was with me, James Harvey Kelly. And so we both got in the van. I was like, thank God. And he went and we cast our tree. We picked one.
Oh my God.
And I just reflexed my leg. And yeah, and we cast this tree and he just cut it down for us. And when you're thinking, oh my God, what is my job? But yeah, and we like dressed it and had a little Christmas moment. And
Who did the dressing of the tree?
more of our team members. So we took quite a few of the WNU team
Yeah.
with us. And then you have all the crews sort of doing, photo and all of that sort of stuff. And we had some dogs and some horses, and
it looked amazing.
It was so great. And then we just did we did a London shoot for mainly to focus on the trouser launch, which we used my baby in, which was so sweet.
Oh, I saw.
Yeah.
So the model was pretending to be mum.
Yeah, exactly. She had a bit of a mum upgrade for the day.
Yeah.
And it was so cute. So I'm excited to see those. I haven't seen that edit yet. So
good.
No, it has been non-stop, but it's so exciting because you've worked so hard to get the product to where it is, to get to your final sample. So then to see it coming to life in a picture makes me so excited to launch it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been good.
Amazing. So your career has been pretty impressive. I'd imagine if you were to ever write your CV, you'd blow people's socks off. You were the PA to Vanity Fair editor Annie Holcroft. You worked at Vogue. You worked at Tatler. Tell us about your journey to get to where you are now.
I think it's so funny. I firstly think I have the worst memory, so I can barely remember anything. But it was just, I don't know. I really didn't really want to go to university. I was really excited to get into the workplace. I was from the countryside and I just really wanted to get to London. And I don't really know why. And so I didn't go to uni, and my mum said I could defer my place, and if I got a job, I didn't have to go. And I was doing an internship in a magazine called Easy Living. And when I went to pick up my sort of £5 from Condé Nast HR, they said, "Oh, we've actually got a job going. Do you want to apply for it?" And it was PA to the publisher, Annie, amazing Annie, who I have no idea why she hired me. I saw her in the corridor once I'd got the job at jewellery editor at Tatler, and she just shouted down the corridor, "Don't fuck it up." I was like, "Thanks, Annie." And she, I don't know, I was 18, and maybe she just thought I was unhinged enough to work hard. I was just really ready to work hard. I just always gave 120%, and I just loved it, and I learned so much because I'd never been in a corporate environment before. So really being a PA is I'm a really big believer in just being at the bottom and working our way up. And you sit there and you listen and you learn. And then I went to Tatler and I was a junior there, my fashion assistant. Then I went up to Vogue and I was the senior fashion coordinator, which is basically in the main fashion team, working a bit with advertising. You sit in editorial, but you're thinking with a commercial head. So you're thinking, okay, who's done what spend? Who's going to be the cover? Is it Ralph? Is it Vuitton or whatever? And then making sure the editorial team are aligning with that. So actually, I think that was it was very much a business role. It wasn't a creative role. And I think that was really good for me. It really, that was amazing, and I loved it, and I wasn't looking to leave. And then Tatler was looking for a new jewellery editor, and I'd obviously already been at Tatler before. And the editor, Kate Reardon, another person I've been so lucky to work under, she hires in the same way I do now, which is I just want people who work hard, ready to get stuck in, real team players. And so I was I didn't know, I knew how to style, I knew how to go on shoots and things, but I didn't know anything about jewelry, and they sent me on a GIA course and went and I learned lots and became their jewelry editor, which was amazing, unbelievable experience and so cool. But the idea for WNU I'd had when I was at Vogue, so it just kept with me, and so that's when I ended up pivoting into making shirts, and now here we are.
So where did that start? Where did it?
I don't know. I'm completely insane. Long story short, I was just at Vogue, and I was like, there's no good quality shirts at a good price point. I was earning very, very little, and I wanted nice shirts to wear, and I mainly wore men's shirts. And so I just thought, well, it shouldn't be that expensive for a cotton shirt, and every woman wears shirts. And, that's why I feel WNU has so much breadth, because whether it's literally the two shirts you and I are wearing now couldn't be more different. Like, shirts is such a broad category. So it's very much started with the poplins like this, but I just thought, well, don't we all like them? So honestly, it was meant to be a project.
Really?
I did not mean to get here. I mean, I don't know. I don't really know. Yeah.
So it started in 2017, and then how did it get from where it started to where it is today?
So I was freelancing. I obviously weren't making any money. So I was just freelancing to pay my bills. So it was essentially it was a hobby. It was a side project.
Yeah.
And then after 2 years, it was sort of bringing in a bit of money, and we're making more and things. I keep saying we, it was me. And my mum was like, you're basically doing 2 jobs, but only one of them pays you. You sort of have to take the plunge. And if it doesn't work, that's fine. But you've got to jump in with both feet. And so I took a desk in a friend's office, and which was so nice as well, because actually the thing I hated the most, I'm not a lone wolf at all. I'm such a people person. Like, I go into my office every single day. I want to know what everyone ate for supper. I want to know what everyone watched on the telly. And I really didn't like working on my own. So as soon as I was back in an office, I think I was so excited to just be around people again. And then it went from there. And I think, and then at that point, it's really crunch time. They've never put more money into WNU since what it started with. That's terrible English.
It makes sense though. I get it.
So there's no sort of funding elsewhere. It was like I had to make it work, and I had to be able to cover my own rent. And, I think I just look back and I think my mum was so supportive. My friends were so supportive. And my now husband, when I first started dating him, I feel like he always says I am a pessimist. I think I'm a realist. But he believes it's going all the way, even when I don't.
Yeah.
And I think
he's
that
the romantic.
but I also think like he believes so much in it. So he's always been cheering it on.
So nice.
And I think that at weaker moments or times when I've wanted to put it all in the bin, between him and my mum, they always say, keep going.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
And how big's the WNU team now?
So we are 16 in head office, and then we have the store team.
Which I still haven't been to. I need to come down.
Oh, you must come.
Yeah. That's big. That's so big. Having your own store. How did that feel?
Quite stressful.
Yeah, I can imagine it was stressful. Yeah.
Well, you know what? Also, it was a real turning point in the business because we'd had a really successful year. So I had money in the bank. So that's when I was like, well, I could pay the deposit and I could pay to fit it out. But I was still running all of our finances, with an accountant, but as in I didn't have anyone running it then. Maybe that's lucky because someone more sensible would have not done it. And anyway, it just sort of went along. I looked at loads of stores. I did lots of viewings. So I just really went for it. But I have to say, it nearly killed me getting that off the ground, because essentially I was doing the store all day and then sort of trying to do my job at night. And by the time we sort of opened the doors, my husband was like, I think you need some more help at senior level, because it was just me at the senior management level. So that's when I found my amazing COO, Laura. So that was 2 years ago. 2.5 years ago. And something like that. And she came in, and she now runs sort of all operations, logistics, and the business side, which she's such like the yin to my yang, and that's been amazing. And she's a little bit older, her kids are older, she has an amazing career. So it's been really nice to bring someone in, and we really just work. So the store was quite a tipping point of that growth.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I will definitely come and see it.
Yes, please.
Can't believe I haven't. Before we dive into your significant pieces, I ask all of my guests this question. What is it about jewellery that you think makes it so important to people?
To people generally, I think it's got to be the emotion, hasn't it? For me, jewelry has always been about emotion. And I think that was an interesting thing being a jewelry editor, is that when it was all about the price of the stone, which also I understand is like, base economics, but that wasn't how I viewed jewelry. It wasn't about like bigger, sparklier, more expensive. It was always about the sentiment. And so, like my pieces, there's some really lovely pieces that I've been lucky enough to be given, but there's also, pieces that cost a few quid because it's just about the moment. So I think it's sentiment and what it makes you feel and think, and also the way it can be passed down. You know, a few of these things have been passed down, and I really look forward to passing things down.
Amazing.
I think Bobby loves gold. She's always pulling on my chains, and I'm like,
Okay, Pip, let's dive into your significant pieces. And where are you going to start?
I'm going to start with my engagement ring, which I wish I'd cleaned before I got here.
I say this every time. People say that, like, oh no, you're in Hatton Garden, just nip round the corner, you can get it polished.
No, I just do fairy liquid and my toothbrush. Not the same one I do my teeth with, obviously. But like, I just clean at home. But I haven't, and I'm such a grubby person. Do not even think of looking at my nails. So, so my engagement ring, my band is from Jessica McCormack, who is a friend.
Oh,
and
is she?
I love her, and I always knew I wanted one of her wire bands. But my engagement ring, my husband did like all himself as a surprise, which obviously, having been a jewelry editor, I was a bit like, if you want to propose to me, we could make the ring together. He was like, nope. No. So I was a bit worried. I was a bit like, okay. I make quite a lot of noise about pale sapphires.
Okay.
So like, I think he'd got the hint there. But also Humphrey Butler is antique jewelry dealer who I'd worked with a lot of Tatler, and him and his number 2 Bobby are good friends, and I just adore them and I adore everything they do. So, and Bobby and I went to school together, so James emailed Bobby and said, I want to make a ring, can you help? And Bobby sourced this Ceylon sapphire, but it was vintage, in a different ring, which was platinum, and I only wear yellow gold. So James had it taken out of that setting and had a setting made in yellow, and then added the baguettes on the side.
Lovely.
Which I just can't believe how well he did.
Really
And it's so
nailed it.
me, and I love blue, and I love it. And also I'm super heavy-handed. I'm really not delicate, so it's a perfect engagement ring for me. So I feel very lucky.
Tell us the story.
So I mean, I don't know if it's that. It's just lovely.
Every engagement story is
so
great.
I grew up in Kent, in the countryside, and my dad's no longer with us, and my mum now lives in Devon. So while it's like my home, I don't really have a home there anymore. So, but I love it down there, and we've often gone down, and we just go down and go to all the pubs I know, and walks, and love it. He had just planned a weekend away. But I mean, this is going to sound I'm so spoiled, but he's just such a romantic that he always plans things like this. So it wasn't like that off, like, I don't know, it wasn't that weird.
Yeah.
He had just planned a nice weekend, and we went down to Kent, and we went for a really nice walk through these fields past my old house and to this cricket pitch where we grew up going, which I spent so much time at because my dad would play lots there, and my brother, and it's just a really like lovely family memory place. This little village called Bishopsbourne, and he proposed on the cricket pitch, just the two of us, and then he'd booked a hotel, and we went, and just I was so overwhelmed. The whole thing was so I was so glad it was just us, and he knows me so well. That's the other thing. He would never have like planned a surprise of like people jumping out of bushes or whatever. So it was lovely, and we just then had like on the next morning we had a walk on the beach, and because we went to the coast, and it was just perfect.
Nice.
But I think that's him to a T. He's so thoughtful and romantic and observant. So yeah, I'm very lucky.
Nice.
Yeah.
You are very lucky. You make my cheeks hurt.
I know.
Nice. He sounds amazing.
He is. Honestly, I'm like,
you grin as much as you do when you're talking about him and your daughter.
I know.
It's so nice.
I think I can't believe when you think about your life and I never thought I'd be married to someone as great as James.
That's so nice.
I just feel so lucky.
Yeah. That's amazing. And I'm sure he does too.
I don't know. I'm quite annoying.
Okay, where do you want to go next? Which are your next pieces?
So I'm going to go for this necklace because my grandfather worked in, I never met him, but he worked in antiques, art, and coins, lots of coins and medals. And this is a gold sovereign, but if it hadn't had a hole put in it, it would have been worth lots at auction. But someone had stamped a hole in it. So it was like only really worth the value of the weight of gold. So he brought it home for my mum when she was a child, you know, like sort of little something home from the office. And it's just really beautiful and really heavy. And my mum gave it to me. And I love that he gave it to her. And it just feels like a really special, unique piece. And also the fact that it's a bit damaged and it sort of was deemed not good enough. I kind of love that because it means it means a huge amount to me. So yeah, I love it.
You mentioned your mum a few times. You're really close.
Yeah, we are. And I think we've become even closer as we were as an adult.
Yeah. And becoming a mum yourself.
Oh my God, massively. And I think she's just such a good sounding board. She's very like calm. She's not as manic as me. And I think, yeah, no, she's a huge influence. I'm quite like her.
Are you?
So yeah. So no, it's really, really special. And one of my favorite things I own.
It's gorgeous. So it's about 2 centimeters, around 20 mil, maybe 25 mil.
It's about the size of a 10p coin.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
And
the clasp is really interesting.
George the Fourth. Fifth?
There we go.
I'm not sure.
And the clasp, I was looking at that earlier on. It's just like I don't even know what you call those.
Is it a barrel clasp?
Is that what it's called?
I'm not sure. I just made that up.
It sounded legit,
but it is a barrel,
and it's kind of got one of those squeezy things.
Yes, but I do worry that I should go get it checked over, shouldn't I?
Yeah,
but no,
maybe. I love it. It's gorgeous.
Thank you. No, it's one of those things that's just really special, and I don't. You know, lots of people have coin necklaces. I don't think it's that exciting, I suppose. It's just
the story behind it.
The story's lovely.
And do you wear it much?
Lots, yes. That and my chain.
And your chain,
I wear that all the time. Which
Gorgeous.
is actually a pocket watch chain.
Is it? Yeah, I love the thickness of it.
Yeah, it's good. It's nice and weighty, so I wear that all the time.
Nice.
So yeah, that's that one.
Where should we go next?
These
amazing earrings.
These amazing earrings. So I'll hold one up.
Describe them to those listening.
So, the main body of the earring are bezel set diamonds, and then there's a drop sapphire, a pale sapphire, very similar to my ring, and I had them made for my wedding by Jessie Thomas, and this bit comes off, so then I can wear just the diamond bit, a sort of day diamonds, and the diamonds for the body came from some earrings my granny gave me, which were flowers, which is just not really my style. Yeah. And so I thought I'll break them down and have them made into something that's more me.
Nice.
And then the sapphires were some earrings my dad had given my mum, but they had been set badly as studs, and they dropped. So they made a lot more sense to have them reset and put on the bottom, and then I can take them off and add them on.
Really
so
nice.
I love those. And I think also, it's like things that have been passed down and they have sentiment, but actually I've made them something that really me, really my style, and I'm going to wear lots. So yeah.
Love that. Beautiful. Okay, next piece.
This is
little
this
Tiffany's.
is a little Tiffany heart, which is such a like traditional Tiffany piece.
Yeah. It's the open, like, Tiffany heart classic. I think it's the one that Bridget Jones wears.
Is it? That's so good.
In the first...
oh, my God, I love it. I think it's just the perfect... Well, it's just a classic Tiffany piece, isn't it? And I think it's never going in or out of fashion because they're just great.
Yeah.
And it's Elsa Peretti. You know, when it's like... when Elsa Peretti did like a capsule for Tiffany. And anyway, when James and I got engaged... My mother-in-law gave it to me, and his father had given it to her during their marriage. And James's father died before we met, so I've never met him. And I just thought it was a really thoughtful, special present. And I will definitely pass it down to Bobby because I think that's just really special. Yeah. And again, I think it's not so much about. Isn't it? It's heaven, but it's also just about that thought, that, like, you know, the way that people make you feel when they give you something,
and just the thoughts that she put into it, thinking
exactly.
I love the fact that she was planning when she found, she went got it from the box or whatever and said, I'm going to give this to
And Pip. I think it means a lot to James as well, because then, you know, that's quite special for him. So no, again, like, it's just something really sentimental, and sweet.
Lovely.
And
your
my final one, This I love
Couldn't
so
be more
much.
different.
It couldn't be more different. We were very, very lucky to be invited to the Caribbean.
It's a good
to a
sound from the
wedding.
microphone.
Oh, yeah. ASMR.
Yeah, that's it.
We were invited to a wedding in the Caribbean, which was the best week of my life.
Is that
I'm a
right?
Caribbean person now.
Are you?
We were there and James and I were like, this is a huge mistake. This is far too nice for us. And I was like 20 weeks pregnant with Bobby, so like halfway through. And we had this lady on the beach. She was making lots of different necklaces and shells, and I sort of saw some shells, and I said, oh, do you think you could do this with this and string it with this and the little pale beads in the middle? And she was like, yeah, totally. So we came back the next day, and she'd done it for me, and
Nice.
my husband bought it. And I don't know, it just makes me think of the time I think when you're pregnant with your first is such a special time, because firstly, you don't have any kids to look after. So you're like, haha, this is bliss. And then you're so excited for what's to come. And it was such a special holiday. And we were with lots of friends, and it was Bequia is the island. And we were on this beautiful island. And it was just one of those like really special moments. You know, it's a holiday we'll never forget. And I think being pregnant with Bobby was so special. And anyway, just on a base level, I absolutely love it. And I love it with a jumper or with a shirt.
Yeah, it looked great with all those gold chains as
I know,
well.
exactly. I mix it in with my chains, and I just
It's really
love it
nice.
so much. And it's like a really, really pale pink.
Yeah.
It's like a touch of pink, because it's obviously all just shell bits. So no, I just love it. And yeah.
I'm really happy that you felt so good at 20 weeks and on holiday in the hot country. I went on holiday when I was 35 weeks, so like right at the cutoff.
Oh my God, no.
It was my best friend's wedding.
Oh my God.
I was ginormous because it was baby number 2, so I really just grew into it all very quickly and felt awful every day.
Oh my God, you poor
It was the
thing.
worst thing in the world. I was so hot, had the worst acid reflux. I couldn't sleep.
It's
I remember
it's just
sobbing.
how big you are. You feel so big, and I remember that end bit being like, I don't know how to even move.
It was just really hard as well. It's my bestest friend's wedding, and it was looking back. I feel like I wasn't really there. I wasn't really there to experience it in the same way as her, because I was sitting down because my fat feet were swollen, and like I was just thinking, I just cried when I left. I'm so sorry. I've got to go to bed, and this is appalling behavior because I want to be the last on the dance floor.
Oh
with
God,
you.
no, I was so boring. I really need my sleep anyway.
I do as well.
I'm like, give me 10 hours a night, I beg. And I would just be like clocking off. Yep, I would be like eating as soon as everyone hit the dance floor, I'd be like, also everyone would be so drunk. No one would even notice you weren't there. So I'd be like,
Thank you for taking us through your significant pieces.
no, of course.
We're going to dive into some fashion, as the fashion girl you are. But also, as a busy mum and entrepreneur, what's your go-to look? And what role does jewellery play in your kind of day-to-day styling?
That is such a good question, because actually jewellery is very crucial to my look, because my look is jeans and a shirt. I'm obviously wearing our beautiful trousers today, but I'm a jeans gal. And I think the shoe and the necklace, or the shoe and the jewellery makes a big difference to that. So like I will happily go to a really big important meeting in a jean, as long as I've elevated it with jewellery.
Yeah.
So I'll have a nice earring in, a good necklace, clean hair.
Yeah.
And then I think jeans can then be lifted.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think jewellery plays a huge part. And my chains, I wear a chain every day, and usually a little gold hoop.
Do you have every single WNU shirt?
I don't, because firstly, I wouldn't be able to fit them in my house. And my husband is always moaning about how many shirts there are in the house. I'm like, and also because it's good to be wearing the new season and talking about it. So actually what I do is, so I don't waste them, I actually just like wear the press samples.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So obviously there are a handful that are like fail safes in my wardrobe. But mostly I rotate.
Nice.
So I get the best of both worlds, really.
If there was one shirt that you think everyone should invest in, which one would it be?
Not seasonal, and not... If you were first time coming to the brand, I would say go for an Oxford or a weave.
Okay.
Like soft cotton. You can really dress them up and look smart, but it's so easy, and it's a weekend shirt, but it can also... It's just... that real transitional piece. So I would say if you were first time making a WNU purchase, an Oxford's a really good call.
Okay, nice.
However, like for something a little more fun at this time of year, like this time of year now where we are, I suppose it's seersucker.
Yeah.
Whereas coming into September, October, the brushed cottons have a special, the denim you're wearing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard.
I don't know.
But you have like a little quiz, don't you, on your
Yes,
website?
we do.
I think that's so
actually,
good.
and that's really good because then you can be like, what am I really looking for? Is it like work,
That's a really
play?
good
Is it
idea.
a bit of both? And also, I think that's it. It's like, I want everyone to have the experience that you would if you walk into our store. You know, when
Yeah.
someone walks in, it's not like, what do you want? It's, what do you do? What do you need your shirts to do for you? And if someone says to me, I'm a lawyer and I need a really sharp uniform, I'm like, right, let's go to the Poplands.
Yeah.
If someone's like, I live in the countryside and I walk my dog every day, I'm going to say, well, let's look at the brushed.
Yeah.
So I think it's just, it's horses for courses, but there's something for everyone. And we have multiple shapes again. So also for different ages, heights, body shapes, just making sure that everyone's catered for.
They are so hardworking, like you said. I think when I got this shirt, I then was like, it's just so easy. And I
happy.
like to just, I like an easy, like, when you just need a couple of things you feel put together. And I think shirt, like you said, shirt and jeans, jewellery, done.
Exactly. That's it.
And
I
don't
think
need to overthink it.
I always think the other thing about like the fashion industry is like practical's always been a bit of a dirty word. It's a bit like, oh, that's not very chic, but that's actually kind of the opposite of how I work. I always want things to be functional and good quality and work really hard for me. And yeah, it's funny that I was so drawn to the fashion industry because I think I'm much more into style than I am into fashion. Just like elegant, easy, classic pieces, knowing what works for you.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know what you're going to ask me next.
You worked in fashion for a long time. Take us back to some questionable outfit choices.
There we go. And you know what it is it's when you don't dress for your body type. For me, it was anyway.
Okay.
I was the age of the Sienna Millers and Kate Mosses, and everyone had a flat chest, and I was desperate to have no boobs, but I have quite big boobs, and I think I just constantly was trying to sort of make things work for me because it's what I saw.
Yeah.
Style icons like Alexa Chung, she was always so cool.
Yeah.
I also love how like Sienna and Alexa are still like such big icons
Oh
now,
my
and
God,
I'm
I'm
obsessed
obsessed.
with Sienna Miller.
So am I.
Honestly.
When I had my hair and makeup done, I was like, can you just make me look like Sienna?
Oh God, I used to
I
take
bought
photos
all
to
of
the
her M&S.
hairdressers.
All of her M&S.
I've got to
colour.
get a grip. I'm such a
You used
loser.
to take what?
Photos to the hairdressers. They're like, we can do our best.
She is our era. She's
Exactly.
Like, she's our icon.
But I think like a lot of the time with that sort of I'm a really athletic figure, and I love that now. Like I love that I'm tall. I'm really into exercise and sport, and I really like my food, and I think I love the shape I am. But it was so funny because I was always so desperate to be like a rake, and not in an unhealthy way or anything, but I think that I used to dress for that.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
actually when you start understanding what your shape is and embracing that, then you start dressing better.
All right then. So let's wrap this up. What is coming up next for you and WNU?
So I'm so excited for autumn winter, mainly because I think I'm quite an autumn gal.
Are you?
Also, my baby is a Gilmore girl. She has the same birthday as Rory.
Oh my God.
Which I love.
Yes. Is
and-
Gilmore Girls some of the trash that you watch sometimes?
Yeah.
If we can call it
And-
trash, I think it's
yeah,
brilliant.
actually, excuse me. I love autumn. I love coziness, and
Yeah.
so I'm really excited for autumn winter. I think the collection's really strong. That's what we just shot, and I think, as I said, like once you've put it into, like the creative field of the imagery, that's when I go, oh yeah, this is good. So I'm really excited about that. But also, we are launching our first new category, which is a huge moment for WNU. You know, we've done shorts and we've done the like sort of pull trousers and stuff,
Yeah.
but we are launching the tailored trouser, which is a huge moment. You know, we are going to retain our core focus on shirting, but our customer wanted more. They wanted what they could put with their shirts, and we have spent a huge amount of time. Our amazing designer spent a long time thinking what it exactly was. Very much the trouser to the shirt.
Yeah.
A beautiful shape, something that once you find that shape, we can run it in multiple materials. So it's coming out in wool in October. Yeah, and also like when I put them on, I'm just like, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's hot in summer in wool, but I don't know, you know, when you're like, we were never going to launch something that was below par, because the last thing I want is for people to go, oh, they can't do anything other than shirts. You know, we wanted to make sure we spent so long in it. And
definitely.
The wool felt so fitting for us, like for an autumnal piece, but then we'll run them in cotton in spring, linen in the summer. So once you found that shape, in the same way that, like, you know, like you're in a classic now. So if you like that classic in that size, when we run that shape in that size in another material, you can go and get that. That's the whole concept behind the trouser too. So it's been nerve-wracking moving into a new space, but also we spend a lot of time talking to our customers and understanding what they want and what they need. So we just made sure we spent a long time on this, and we haven't rushed to market. And then we have a blazer coming in January.
Exciting.
Which I'm also really excited about, a wool blazer. So, like, again, practical, warm, but chic, and one of those items that is really going to take you for whatever you want it to do. And then, it's just lots coming.
Amazing.
But yeah, those are the two big things that we're feeling.
I'm excited.
Very excited about. And so when you asked me to come on here, I was like, I worry about talking too much.
I think it's
which
great.
I should do.
On podcast, it's absolutely bloody brilliant.
Right,
actually, in life, it's brilliant.
I don't always go. If someone says come on a podcast, I always think, have you actually got something interesting to say, Pip? Because otherwise, shut up. And so when you asked and you said it was coming out in September, I thought, actually, this is perfect, because the trouser is something we wanted to talk about. So thank you for letting me.
It was perfect.
Talk to you about it.
Thank you. Well, before we go, we donate £100 to a charity for all of our guests. So which is the charity that you would like us to donate to? So
we're a B Corp, and charitable giving is a big part of that, and a big part of, like, the brand ethos. And we tend to, the charities we work with, we either like them to be close to home or women's based. And probably one of the best ones I really like to, and we also make sure we repeat.
Nice,
so we're not just picking a different charity each year. The Wandsworth Hygiene Bank, we're part of Wandsworth Borough. So it felt right for us to be working for the women who live where we are building the company. And I think the thing is that a lot of the things, charities get money when they're sexy or cool. And talking about tampons and sanitary items is not, you know, or people who don't have can't afford a toothbrush, is not very cool or sexy. And I think that's where these charities struggle, because no, they're not necessarily always like the hype brand. So for us, women's hygiene, women's health, and just supporting women. You know, we talk about getting women into the workplace. We talk about women being better at their jobs. But I mean, if you can't get access to basic hygiene care, I don't really see how you can go and then do your job properly. So that's something we care a lot about. So nice. That is our charity. Brilliant. You probably didn't need such a long spiel, but here we are. But thank you. That's really, really generous.
No, thank you. And then finally, so we're going to offer the listeners, the viewers, a limited discount for a limited time, a 20% discount on your favorite piece. What are you choosing today, Pip?
Okay, so I'm going to go for these hoops because I genuinely wear a gold hoop every single day.
You can't go wrong with a gold hoop.
I can't. Oh wait, that one's probably close to camera. Should I take this one off? It's like it's like a cage. It's so pretty, and but a nice cage, and it's so pretty, like sort of lattice effect.
Yeah,
more like a pie.
So they are our shrimps collaboration. You know shrimps?
Yes, love.
So they're the woven hoops.
The woven hoops.
Yeah,
a basket.
Yes.
More
basket,
less cage, but a gilded cage. And I just love them. And they're nice and light. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
I hate
a big hoop.
I hate when a hoop pulls my ears down. So I am thrilled with these. So everyone can get them at a discount.
Get shopping. Well, you can shop the shrimps large woven hoops at a discount, and the discount code will be in the show notes, which I think is down there when I point.
Amazing.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
to
much.
Everyone.
Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so glad we finally got this. I'm so glad to finally meet you because I've been a fan of what you've been doing for such a long time.
Well, right back at you. And I obviously already own lots of Daisy pieces because I love them. And I'm just really honoured to be asked. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for listening to Homegrown Daisy. Make sure to subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts and follow us on Instagram so you don't miss a thing.